I have been selling this book, Zanazli and Wan Chun Hong's Guide to Indie Filmmaking, which is published by MPH. For a while now. It's a really good book if you want to be a filmmaker, whether it's for YouTube, social media, TV, film, cinema, whatever. This is the book to get. I'm going to make it more accessible and more affordable to all of you because I believe that everybody needs to become a filmmaker. The more filmmakers we have in the world, I think this world will be a better place to live in. Now it's available as an electronic book download on my website. I'm going to link it here. It's really cheap, it's really affordable. It's only 5 ringgit if you want to get the ebook version. Okay, 5 ringgit. It doesn't really cost much, right? It's just a little bit of something for me. I mean, it did take a lot of work to write. Each chapter of this book talks about one part of the filmmaking process. And for each chapter as well, I interview a local filmmaker. It's only 5 ringgit. It's only 5 ringgit. Okay, you are watching and listening to the Fat Bidin Film Club, and I'm assuming I'm Zan Azli.
And I'm Shell Abestawan.
As usual, every week we watch a local film and we review it.
Okay, so...
Yeah, but it hasn't been every week. It's been like every other week.
Yeah, okay, so we've been getting some comments on YouTube of people asking us to review stuff that's on the streaming platforms.
Yeah, like
Even,
Netflix
yeah.
and what? Disney Plus
Disney
lah,
Plus.
Movie lah and all that.
Even if they're old films, so we're going to kick that off because we always give the people what they want.
Always, what? They want old films so that they know that, you know, these things are available
should
to
I
watch
it? Should I not watch it? Also that lah.
So go retro lah every once in a while.
So we're gonna go retro
every once in a while.
So this is the first one. And what are we watching? Mukhsin.
I wanted to say movie. Mukhsin is on
Netflix. Right.
Okay, so we watched Mukhsin. And we all know Mukhsin was done by the late Yasmin Ahmad.
Okay, actually, I'm not sure if Mukhsin is on Netflix or Disney Plus.
I think it was Disney Plus.
Okay, it
Because
might be
we watched it with Athena.
It might be Disney Plus.
No, it is.
Okay, it's Disney Plus. Cool. Anyway, yeah, so we watched Mukhsin. We actually watched it with our 10-year-old daughter, which feels fitting because the girl in the film, Orchid, is... No, the boy in the film is 10. Is it? Or an Orchid is like...
Orchid is 10, the boy is 12.
Oh, Orchid is 10, the boy is 12. Something lah. But it was fitting because she's around the age lah. So we got to make fun of her and say, haha, you got no like
boyfriend.
Boy come with the bicycle and pick you up. Which she didn't really care. So yeah.
Yeah. But yeah,
anyway.
we know Yasmin Ahmad did a lot of films. A handful of films. Before her untimely passing. And full disclosure, she was a friend. We were friends for quite a while during the early days of my filmmaking career. Sad that she died. But yeah, okay, so this is one, not her first feature. It was one of the middle ones lah.
I think it's like the third or something.
Can't remember, there's so many, like Sepet, Rabun lah and all that, right?
Yeah.
But yeah.
So it was like Sepet, Gubra and then Mukhsin.
Oh yeah,
so this
Gubra.
was kind of it's like a trilogy thing, right? So this was the third one in this trilogy. I think lah, if I'm not mistaken, because it was so long ago. Yeah. Okay, so
tell us what the film's about.
For those of you who have not seen the film, Mukhsin.
But if you watch it, so I guess the review also going to we have to put into context of people watching it again after a while, right?
In a way lah.
Okay, so what's it about?
So for those of you who have not seen it, Mukhsin is a film about a 10-year-old girl named Orchid, and it's all about your first love. So there's a voiceover about how you never forget your first love, something like that. And then there's this.
I forgot.
So there's Orchid. I'm sure you have. There's Orchid, and Orchid lives in like a kampung, and she's not your typical kampung girl because she likes to play Gala Panjang. She likes to play Gala Panjang and like she hits boys, as in like beats them up. And
she plays football.
She plays football, and she doesn't want to play like kawin-kawin with the other girls, so the other Malay girls
Masak-masak or
make
whatever.
fun of her.
Oh, kawin-kawin, yeah.
And even during kawin-kawin, she's like the guy, you know, and the other girl gets to be the pengantin. So her mother speaks like English, and they're a bit of a different family lah, I would say, than your regular kampung folk. But then I can't really say that because I don't know what kampung folk are like. You know, for all you know, they all speak English in the kampung. So yeah. So anyway, the point is to show that their family is different lah, and not like typical. So she's playing Gala Panjang, and then Mukhsin sees her. So Mukhsin has come to visit from somewhere. He's staying there for the duration of the school holiday with his auntie. And so they become friends. She beats up a boy for him, you know, and then eventually Mukhsin leaves, and then she says, but I'll never forget him. I never saw him again.
They had a bit of a fight lah. There's all this drama lah that happens in between.
And then, you know, so they leave. And Mukhsin like tries to pujo her before that, but you know, she didn't want. And then it was too late lah. That's all. And Adiba Noh is her nanny.
Yeah.
That's important because Adiba Noh sings this really nice song.
Not nanny, orang gaji.
Orang gaji. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the film.
So, review.
Okay.
So what do you think about the film? I have a question. Why does the entire Malaysia, or the entire country, calls the game Gala Panjang? Well, when I was growing up in my school, among my friends, we call it Belonacha.
Don't know. Johorians are weird.
We call it Belonacha. Are you guys from Johor? Is that what we call it in Johor? Belonacha? I just knew it as Belonacha. And then when we moved out of Johor, and I was like, oh, people call it Gala Panjang. Yeah, but yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so what do you think about the film?
Okay, so what do I think about the film? I wanna review it, but then like I feel like if I review it, you're just gonna make fun of me
Why would I make fun of you?
because of what I'm just about to say. It's exactly what you do. Okay.
Hey, hey. Bam, bam, we got the clown horn already. Bam, bam. Wang, wang, wang. Okay, go on.
Okay. Anyway.
Ha.
I can't remember exactly, but I feel like when I watched Mukhsin the first time, I was either the same age or slightly older than the characters in the film. That is. Pause for reaction.
Okay. Wang, wang. Okay. You were 10 years old.
No, that's why I said I think I was slightly older. I can't remember. We should really check when Mukhsin
It's
came
in
out.
the mid-2000s.
Then no lah, I was older lah, because I was 10 years old in the 90s. You know.
No, you were 10
I was
years old in the early 2000s.
But no, I think I was older already. Yeah. Pause for more reaction.
Okay. Wang, wang. Okay, and then? No, paused already. The pause too long already. Can go on now.
Okay, so at the time, I remember when I was watching it, I could relate lah. Which actually is how I feel with most of Yasmin Ahmad's films. I can relate to all of her female characters because they are all very different. And she always makes these women, these female characters different to fit into a conventional setting. Not to fit, but to like sort of purposely like stand out in a conventional setting. So this is the same thing. Just like Orchid, she's different. You know, because she doesn't adhere to the normal gender roles. She doesn't play kawin-kawin. She speaks English. That was the biggest one because in school growing up, I was picked on a lot because I spoke in English. Well, not really that I was picked on a lot lah, but the Malay girls wouldn't want to be friends with me because I spoke in English, you know. So that was the thing. And then so watching that brought me back to that lah. And I look at my daughter now, Athena, who's 10, like Orchid in the show, and she might not live in like a kampong, but she does go to a school where it's predominantly a single race, right? And she does get made fun of because she speaks English. But unlike Orchid, she's not beating anybody up.
And she's not the only one who speaks English.
And she's not okay lah.
There's
There's like 6 of them. Big deal. But you know, it just made me feel like this show really transcends generations, and it makes me feel like I don't know whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, but it made me a little sad that, you know, so many years on, this film is still relatable in that sort of minorly racist sense. Like, you know, kids are still getting picked on for speaking in English, or, you know, this kind of sort of backward mentality is still a thing so many years on from the time that she made this film. So that was that. The love story itself, I don't know. It's very cute, but that's pretty much it lah. It's cute lah. When you're like not that age anymore, you watch it and you feel like, okay lah, it's cute lah. I don't know. What did you think? I think you have more things to say about it.
No, I think it's a very heartwarming film. Very positive. There's nothing sad about it. There's nothing negative about it, which is kind of like what all of Yasmin Ahmad's films are like. It always promotes some sort of positivity and optimism. And I like that. I like that lah in all of her films. I don't know. Yes, I can relate to it too. Because I also grew up multiracial family, speaking in English when everybody else is not speaking in English, growing up in a family where we're okay with dogs when everybody else is not okay with dogs, you know, that kind of thing. But I think, yes, this film, even if later on when issues of racism the issues of racism that existed then is no longer like that anymore now, or at a time when it's no longer an issue, I think it can still be relatable because children at that age will, it's a universal thing, whether it's, even if it's not about speaking in English in a place where nobody speaks English, or being masculine in a very feminine environment or whatever, right? Yeah, those are the specific issues that Orchid faced at that time. But I think throughout time, even into the future, kids growing up will always have issues where they are different in other ways lah. So it will always be relatable, I think. And so like kids today, if they watch also in different environments or what, so I think they can find a bit of relatability to it lah. And I don't know. To me, the heart it's very innocent. The film is so innocent, but not to the point of naivety lah. But very innocent and pure. Maybe that's why it's children, you know? And I wish that when we grow up into adulthood, our intention should be like that also.
Well, I felt like it was kind of a bit half-half because while it was like an innocent love story and everything, there's a big difference between Orchid's character and Mukhsin's character, because Mukhsin is slightly older, right? And Orchid comes from, there's a very real comparison of the two of them. Their backgrounds,
family-wise and all that, yeah.
So like Orchid comes from this very solid, loving family. Her parents are affectionate to each other. You know, they care about her. They treat their orang gaji nicely. Their orang gaji cares about her. They don't beat her. Her mother talks to her openly about like, getting a period, can see your tete already.
Doesn't
blah, blah,
hit
blah.
the children, doesn't hit her.
Doesn't hit her.
As a punishment,
then, whereas, Mukhsin has a brother who is a drunk.
Where's your slippers, Achilles? Where's your
who's
slippers?
a drunk, a bit problematic because they're estranged from their mother. They live with their father who's
and the father also
allegedly
kind of like abandoned
not
them.
very affectionate,
Yeah. Broken family lah.
Yeah, so Mukhsin goes through all these conflicts, and when he's with Orchid, he doesn't carry all of that with him. But Orchid doesn't have all of those issues, and she's very it's not simple, but I guess simpler than him lah, in the sense that her life is somewhat easier, and you can see that like contrast or that sort of like tension in the film. And so it's Yasmin Ahmad's films always present all of these ideas in a very simple way, that kind of makes it seem like it's a very heartwarming film and everything, but then inside there's all this like all these minor and they're not analogies, it's minor ideas lah, I guess. Like even if you look at like Sepet or Gubra, they were not simple heartwarming films. They didn't always end happy.
Yeah, but positive. It's not about ending happy. It's a positive, and optimistic.
Oh, I don't know. I didn't feel like Sepet was very. I mean, positive approach. Yeah.
Yeah. So happy ending, a Hollywood ending is different than a
It doesn't have
positive
to be a
treatment lah.
Hollywood ending to end well, but
But
okay.
that's what they categorize happy endings as, because Hollywood must have an happy ending. If you don't have a happy ending, the focus groups are not going to like it.
Okay.
Because they leave the cinema theaters feeling bad, and then that doesn't help good word of mouth for ticket sales.
Yep.
But yeah, no, that's why I say they're innocent but not naive lah. Like you said, Mukhsin had issues. Actually, even Orchid also had issues. Like the family was poor, and they had financial difficulties.
Yeah, her sofa kept
Yeah.
getting repossessed.
And they all knew it, but they decide to look on the positive side of life. You know, and that is nice to see lah. You know,
I think
Yeah.
watching it back, it really brought back the magic of what Yasmin Ahmad films does. She showcases the reality of everyday Malaysians in such a light way lah. And all of these things that she puts in, right? They are sort of like what would the millennials call it? Easter eggs. They're very
what is Easter eggs?
there's like these small nuances in the film lah.
Why is it Easter eggs?
No, Easter eggs are also things like that cameo between Sharifah Amani and that boy that played Jason in Sepet.
So you find something of a nice surprise.
Yeah.
Why can't this millennial just say it's a nice surprise, as opposed to it's an Easter egg? Wear a beret and drink coffee.
Anyway, so she does it in such a simple, fluid way. So it really feels like you're there. You're in the kampong. You're friends with them. You're watching her sofa get repossessed, and then but there are so many deeper ideas that go on. Like Orchid's neighbor, for example, right? This auntie that keeps like sending her daughter to give comments. Oh, kalau bapa awak tak mampu tu, janganlah beli sofa baru. Kenapa mak awak selalu berspeaking So this auntie has like so many comments to say, and you would think that she's just a typical like orang kampung, but then it turns out that she's pregnant and her husband is like cheating on her,
Wanting to marry a
with some
second
younger,
wife.
wanting to marry a second wife, and she's going through like her own thing lah, which really just shows the layers of people, which you don't normally get with in a film lah. The supporting characters don't usually get depth of character, but with Yasmin Ahmad, every single one of her character has depth and character.
Yeah.
So it was just really nice to see again, like you said, nowadays filmmakers, films tend to want to do Hollywood endings, or they tend to want to pander to a majority. They make films that they know that people want to watch, that are mainstream, but she really just told really good stories. And she made sure that no detail was like left behind, and I kind of just really appreciated that. And I was really like, at the end they show her parents right singing that song, and then she's there with her daughter and everything, and I was just like, it really hit me. I was quite sad.
Sad but positive.
Yeah, it's sad in like, oh my god, it's so
Yeah.
sad to have lost her.
Yeah.
That kind of sad lah.
But still,
Not
a
like-
positivity lingers after that.
Yes,
and I
yes.
think that's important, and
Yes.
we need. I think I want to watch more of her films again, because nowadays I don't know if you go onto social media or you go in the media lah, everything is just so negative, and then when people see these negative things, right, they kind of like they want to delve into the negativity, and then suck themselves into it, and you can see in the films also that comes out today.
Yep.
And stories and articles, people just want to be
angry.
they want to be engulfed in the negativity.
And
Whereas
anger.
when you watch Yasmin Ahmad films, yes, it's reality. Sometimes there are bad things that happen, but still they don't must feel it's horrible. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So
Yeah.
it's nice.
It was also like, it addressed so many different parts of society and so many issues in society, like racism being one of the biggest ones, but without being, as how you would say, woke about it. It wasn't
Woke
like
as fuck.
it wasn't
AF,
woke
woke
as
AF.
fuck. It wasn't like straight on the nose. It wasn't preachy, but you got the message. You know?
It wasn't like that episode of Blackish where they talked about Black Lives Matter. Remember?
Yeah.
This is just a 22-minute
No,
lecture.
police brutality.
Police brutality.
Yeah.
22-minute lecture.
Yeah. So yeah. Watch it. Don't watch it.
Yeah, watch it lah. Yeah. Do
Watch it. Watch it again.
Yeah,
if you've
it's on
seen
Disney
it
Plus.
before.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you don't have Disney Plus, then too bad for you.
Oh, DVDs were going around last time.
Find a DVD.
Yeah, legit DVDs. They were selling it.
Yeah. Okay. So tell us what you think. Do you want us to do more of these retro film reviews?
Yeah, we're gonna go real retro. You know, I think.
Yeah,
I'm
we
gonna
talked
find,
about
like,
going real retro.
80s films, like my favorite comedy ever, Sikit Punya Gila.
Oh God, help me.
You know, and so many other, like, yeah. And like that lah. Okay. Let us know what you think.
Yeah, like this video, don't like this video,
Subscribe.
follow us on all our social media platforms,
It's at Bidin.
and go
Go
to
to fatbidin.com
fatbidin.com to get everything.
I'm assuming I'm Zan Azli.
And I'm Shirley
You've
Busaman.
been watching and listening to the Fat Bidin Film Club. I'm assuming I'm Zan Azli.
And I'm Shirley Busaman.